Here we go!
Hey, what's up, Blue Blurs? This is Gamer Blake 90, your reliable provider of all things Sonic the Hedgehog and your chief of the Blue Blurs. In this video, woohoo! Give me a minute, I had to appreciate the soundtrack for the stage. Well, I'm sure that's the norm, but some just stand out more than others. And it's kind of an unwritten rule where if you wander right into the heart of your enemy's base, you may as well go out and save the world while listening to the hottest soundtrack that life has to offer. But anyway, in this video, we are continuing our Amy Rose playthrough of Sonic 3D and 2D as we go through the Gene Gadget Zone. The first of the last two stages that can be played in this game, and of course in the original 3D Blast. And my god, what a rendition of Gene Gadget this is. If you follow my Sonic playthrough already, you may have seen this before, but for those who are unfamiliar with this 2D rendition of Gene Gadget, let's do a little recap. This looks an awful lot like the foreground and the background scene from Sonic 1 Scrap Brain Zone, or Clockwork Zone as it used to be called, in the Sonic 1 prototype, that surfaced just under 2 weeks ago thanks to a fan organization called Hidden Palace. Many thanks to them for showcasing the prototype on stream, by the way, and yes, I have every intention of covering it on my channel at some point, but for now, we're gonna keep our focus on finishing up this playthrough, which is almost done. Okay, good. The hammer allowed me to circumvent the spikes on that guy so I can take it out. Ah! But, well, one of them slipped right by me. Oh, and that's right, the background also consists of Stardust Speedway's bad future aesthetic, with a reddish cloud in the background and whatnot, and the background does look an awful lot like Scrap Brain, but there may have been some minor adjustments made to it to suit Gene Gadget better. And of course the addition of the rain, that was something I totally didn't see coming in regards to Gene Gadget. But again, it's things like that that often remind me that when you play the original 3D Blast, you don't get to see the weather conditions of each stage, except for like, you know, Diamond Dust and Volcano Valley. Mostly if you're on the Sega Genesis version, that is. So it's never known what kind of environment Gene Gadget is situated in. But some of that was kind enough to construct an answer to that question for us. And in my honest opinion, this was one of the best reimagining of a Sonic 3D Blast stage that I've ever seen. But if you like this one, just wait for the Panic Puppet Zone. Some with elevators look an awful lot like the Death Egg Zone, combined with the piping network that was prominent in the Chemical Plant Zone in regards to its own shared teleportation devices. This stage is, well, I was about to say, this stage is one where you're not gonna want to go that fast all that often, especially as Amy, because unlike Sonic, you don't have the privilege of freely curling into a spin dash whether you're moving fast or slow. You have to improvise for enemies using your hammer. So, it's like you have to do consecutive button presses at repeated instances while you're trying to enjoy the sections that are more built for Sonic and his speed, and this can make the Amy Rose playthrough quite aggravating. But, it is a hard mode of the game, so that's gotta be the way it is. Be careful with landmines, by the way. They're plunged into the ground and represented by a dark purple shade. Don't stand near them for too long or you will get blown up. And that's odd. Usually my hammer allowed me to circumvent that guy's, exterior spike when trying to go on the attack, and that time around it didn't seem to work. Maybe if I did a hammer drop instead, it would have fortified my defenses better. Anyway, we're gonna pick up the invincibility. That should give us some insurance whenever we want to enjoy our acquisition of speed, although such sections are not all that numerous in both Gene Gadget's Act 1 and 2. And now that I'm mentioning Act 1, I said a while back, but I was dreading the boss for it because Amy doesn't have a super form right now, even though she collected all the Chaos Emeralds. And if you remember my Sonic playthrough, you'll recall how overwhelmingly difficult the Gene Gadget Act 1 boss was. And we're closing in on it right now, as a matter of fact, just as soon as we work our way past this tricky little section that involves you having to manually choose the directions where you will be going through these pipes. I think I nailed it this time on the first try, though. Yes, I did. So it'll probably help that I had a little bit of practice with this stage before I jumped back into it, because, you know, had to acquire a thumbnail. But I was just in the process of talking about the Act 1 boss. It involved these 5 different prototypes of the boy himself, Metal Sonic. And just like that, I lost my shield right out the gate. That's not a very encouraging sign, is it? I think you can guess why this is going to be difficult. So the nice thing is, at first you'll be fighting each Metal Sonic prototype one at a time. Oh my god, I cannot avoid anything right now. But you know what? I think Amy welcomed this encounter, because in Sonic CD, she was kidnapped by this guy. So it is time for her to seek revenge. If I can even nail a hit, because it seems like she's not willing to let me do that. Oh god! No, oh god. Okay, what do I do? So when he does that dash, he jumps out of it, like midway. Wow, that didn't hit me? Laser, right? And of course it would track. Oh god. I'm gonna put the cork in the commentary right now, because your boy's feeling the pressure. Okay, so he's vulnerable just as he ends his attack. That's helpful to know. Can I attack him here? No, in fact, I missed it. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Game Gear Silver Sonic. For the most part, I was correct when I said you only had to fight one prototype at a time. But as you are on the verge of finishing off one of them, another will enter the fray. But we had taken that guy out this time, so now we only gotta worry about Game Gear Silver Sonic, thank goodness. And I don't think he's going to be as difficult as the other prototypes of Metal Sonic are, thankfully. Oh no, give me my ring back! I cannot lose that ring at all, or I am screwed. Oh, come on. I swear, it's like this guy thinks he has a Fire Wisp on from Sonic Forces. Because now he has a flamethrower attack. Well, I take that back. I think he's already had that flamethrower attack since we fought him at Green Grove. Uh-oh. He's going to jump into the fray. This time, right? Literally. But the silver lining to this, pun not intended, is we've already taken care of the immediate nuisance, so now we only have to focus exclusively on him, and I actually think he will be the easiest to damage out of all of them. Because though he definitely received some buff for his boss battle, compliment of Soda Nuck. At the end of the day, I think he's the easiest version of Metal Sonic to fight as far as his boss is concerned. Either that, or the Game Gear Sonic 2's version of Silver Sonic. Other two prototypes don't have to be dealt with. You only have to fight 3 out of the 5 prototypes of Metal Sonic to beat the boss, and once you've beaten all of them, that's it. The other two could just be left sitting cleanly in their glass canisters where they belong and will never trouble the world again. As for this guy, I believe a viewer pointed out to me that he is basically reminiscent of a similar prototype that is glimpsed at the final egg base seen at the Mystic Ruins Adventure Field in Sonic Adventure 1. And I hadn't put 2 and 2 together at first, because when I first played this game, I hadn't recognized that prototype of Metal Sonic. Then I replayed Sonic Adventure, I was like, wait a minute, now it's all falling into place. Either way, Amy has gotten her revenge. After being kidnapped in Sonic CD, she has bested her captor. She is officially superior and doesn't need Sonic to guide her hand for the rest of her life. However, she's not out of the thick of the woods yet. We have to go through Gene Gadget Act 2, and be warned, this first part of the stage may suffer from a similar inconvenience that was present in Rusty Ruins Act 1, where it wasn't entirely clear as to what the best path was to take moving forward. Almost said best and path all in one breath. Sometimes I feel like I need to slow it down. But I'm a Sonic fan, I'm not known for going slow. Anyway, we are completely situated within the interior of the Gene Gadget Zone, and we'll have to find a group of switches that will open up electrically charged gates that we otherwise would not be able to pass through. Although you find an electric shield, you can pass through the gates easy peasy, unimpeded. Oh god, the oil lotion badnik. You definitely weren't missed. Actually, can I get up there? Oh yes I can, using the hammer flip, but all that was there were springs. We got trolled, and we got trolled hard. Okay, so, what the heck? I could have sworn that would grant me immunity. But that's twice now, but it didn't work. It worked before, but not this time around, I guess. And yes, the floor is electrically charged. You're gonna have to be very quick on the move when you're going over those panels. There is a switch up there that we have just activated. And if I remember right, there's one other that we need to find. And to be sure that you find all of them, you're going to want to stick to these platforms and let them guide you to where you need to go. Otherwise, you could get lost. I got so lost here, in fact, the first time I played this stage, that it resulted in a time over, and that was with Sonic. Maddeningly. So now that I think about it, it feels like the level layouts on 3D and 2D can be quite lengthy, to the point where you're sometimes finding yourself getting a time over if you aren't actually paying attention. It does exert pressure on you to stay on your toes, in more ways than one. Wait, I don't think we're supposed to come up here yet. I think this is where... Oh! Never mind! I thought we had to press 2 switches, but we only found 1. Or did we find 2? I honestly wasn't paying attention. Either way, I'm not complaining. I don't want to spend too much time here if I can help it. Because the soundtrack for Gene Gadget has certainly got a buff in Act 2 and in the first act. The layout is going to be excessively annoying still. So what's funny is, it felt like the Act 1 bosses all throughout this game were infinitely more difficult than the Act 2 bosses. Because I didn't find the Act 2 boss for this stage to be anywhere near as problematic as Act 1. In fact, it cost me lives trying to figure out how to take care of the Act 1 boss the first time I played it. But as Amy, a character who is known for being essentially the hard mode of Sonic 3D and 2D, it didn't cost me any lives at all. I think we can chalk that up to acquiring experience and having played this game before. Anyway, I think I remember this part now that we passed through that last gate. Oh, look at that. All those animal capsules stacked along those shelves in Act 2. It's making me think back to the opening cutscene of Sonic Lost World, where he tried to save that capsule that Eggman is carrying off with him, but he seemed to forget the fact that he and Tails like thousands of feet up in the sky. So there were animals in it, he might have actually caused more problems than he meant to solve. Did anyone else realize that while playing that game? Or am I just over-dramatizing it? Come on, come on. There we go. Now the Pico Pico Hammer is doing its work. That reach, though. So there's a switch that you gotta activate somewhere around here to unlock the next gate. I think to find it, you gotta go up at this intersection. Yes, you do, and there it is. But you will have to be quick, because that switch will not stay active forever. So you need to find the gate that it affects before it deactivates, which will be just past this transporter right here, or teleporter rather. It'll take us here, and kaboom! Ah! I didn't know there were 2 keys there! No! No, that did not just happen. I've never died that way in this game before getting crushed by a gate that I was trying to pass through! Shoot! But it's okay, we can make up for that. Ah! Go away, please. I don't like you. Seriously, that's one of the most embarrassing deaths I've ever gotten in this gate. If I ever do a fail compilation, that's going in there. Boy, if you don't stop spitting your oil in my face, I will completely denounce you and the oil ocean zone from which you came. Hear me? But yeah, seriously, I didn't know there were 2 gates there. I thought there was only 1. Either that or my memory really is failing me. But that little mishap behind us, we've activated no switch, triggers that gate, and look at that. More switches. What is this? Switch Central? Okay, Egghead, where are you? There you are. Play Sonic 3D Blast yourself? Good. You'll recognize this boss, and I'm so shocked that missile didn't hit me. But it essentially works by the exact same format, only with a bit of a difference here. The fat beam is on a 2D plane, for one. That should have been obvious. And spikes will rain onto the conveyor belt along which we're running. You gotta jump over those. And once Eggman lowers his craft, you will want to hit him as quickly as you can before he can send those missiles out. And otherwise, they'll just make it more of a headache for you. But be careful, there is an abyss to the left of the conveyor belt. And once he changes sides, you're gonna have to keep that in mind while you are fighting this boss. Luckily, with Amy's hammer, she bounces off of Eggman after landing a hit. And of course, being a narcissist that he is, he would include Eggman item box into the equation. Not that they're really doing him any good. Like I said earlier, this game's Act 2 bosses feel so much easier than their Act 1 bosses. You saw what I mean? It took like a lot more effort to beat the Act 1 boss than it did the Act 2 boss. Like right now. Kinda, the opposite of what you would expect. Usually the Act 1 boss is a bit easier to pick up on and learn than the Act 2 boss is. But it felt like for like 95% of this game, it's the other way around. Not that I'm complaining, because I could sure use a breather after the debacle that was Amy facing multiple prototypes of Metal Sonic. The one upside she took away from that, though, is repairing her dignity after her capture in Sonic CD. Good on her, right? And look at that, here we are. The finale of his game, the Panic Puppet Zone. With soundtrack that's not too much unlike that of Gene Gadget, but even hotter. I feel like a disco ball just lit up above me and I just had the sudden urge to jam out to this. But I'm gonna save that energy for the next video, because in keeping with my formula of 1 stage per zone, that will do it for this video. Next video, Amy is going to conclude her journey in Sonic 3D and 2D, and hopefully get the chance to go Super along the way, because I'm not sure if there was anything along the way I needed to do to guarantee the acquisition of a Super form, aside from getting all the Chaos Emeralds, like I've done in previous episodes. So hopefully something comes of that. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, drop those likes and comments down below, and to keep up with this series along with the rest of my Sonic playthroughs as they occur, hit that sub button and ring that bell. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, blue blurs for life. Sorry, Amy. Pink blurs for life. She's probably still mad at me for letting her get crushed to death in that gate earlier. My bad. But yo, guys, take care. See y'all later.